The millionaire lie. You think the secret to becoming a millionaire is finding the next 100x stock or starting a $1 billion company or winning some crypto lottery. That is the biggest, most expensive lie you will ever believe. If you want to be seriously, life-changingly wealthy, you have to accept one uncomfortable truth. The real path to wealth is agonizingly boring. We are genetically hardwired to seek excitement. We love the drama, the rush, the dopamine hit of a hot tip. That's why we watch financial news. That's why we check our portfolio 5 times a day. But excitement is the enemy of wealth. Excitement is where the high fees are. Excitement is where the panic selling happens. Excitement is what separates the people who get rich from the people who look rich. This video is about the boring investor formula, the BIF. It's the dull, predictable system that every actual millionaire uses. It removes luck, it removes genius, and it replaces them with the single most powerful force in the universe, consistency. I'm going to show you the one mathematical point on your wealth journey where your money finally starts making more than you save. Most people quit right before they hit it. Let's start with point number 1. Point 1, the boring investor formula. The boring investor formula has 3 simple steps. Automate, set it up once and forget it. Diversify, buy the whole market, and ignore. Stop checking the news and stop checking your portfolio. This is the ultimate form of financial laziness, and financial laziness is actually a sign of intelligence. Think about the opposite, the excited investor. They spend 10 hours a week researching individual stocks. They pay commissions, they have an emotional attachment to a single company's success. When that stock drops, they feel the pain and they make a panic move. The boring investor buys a single diversified index fund, something like VOO, which tracks the S&P 500. When you buy VOO, you are automatically buying a piece of 500 of the largest, most successful companies in America. If one company fails, it barely affects you. If 499 companies fail, we have bigger problems than your retirement. Why is this so powerful? Because it removes decision fatigue. Your brain is a limited resource. When you spend mental energy debating whether to buy Apple or Tesla, you're wasting energy that could be used on your career, your health, or your relationships. The boring investor made the decision once, years ago. The boring strategy is simply the absence of bad decisions. Point 2, the myth of the genius investor. Every financial guru wants you to believe you need to be a genius to beat the market. Here's the data that crushes that ego. Over a 10-year period, 90% of actively managed funds run by literal Harvard-educated geniuses who spend all day trading, fail to beat the S&P 500 index. Let that sink in. These are people with private access, supercomputers, and decades of experience. And 9 out of 10 of them lose to a strategy that is so simple you could teach it to a golden retriever. The smartest thing you can do is admit you are not the smartest. The great investor Warren Buffett advised people to simply invest in a low-cost S&P 500 index fund. He didn't say, find the next Berkshire Hathaway. He said, just buy the market and relax. His entire philosophy is founded on the most boring, low-effort strategy imaginable. Why? Because the market over the long term is an engine of human innovation. It goes up. Every time there's a crash, every time there's a panic, someone, somewhere figures out a new technology, a new product, a new way to solve a problem, and the market keeps climbing. The exciting investor is trying to outsmart that engine. The boring investor simply hitches a ride. Point 3, consistency over intensity, the 5-year rule. Wealth isn't a result of intensity, a giant lump sum deposit or a massive one-time trade. Wealth is a result of consistency, the slow, dull, continuous drip of money into the market. Imagine 2 friends. Friend A, the intense investor, gets a $10,000 bonus, invests it all at once, then checks out for the rest of the year. Friend B, the boring investor, automatically invests $833 every month consistently for 12 months. Over 30 years, assuming the same average returns, friends B will often win. Why? Because of dollar cost averaging, they removed the need to time the market. They are buying when the market is high and when it is low. They are always buying. They are always working. This is the psychological grind. You get a paycheck, you automatically take out your 15% investment contribution before you even see it, and you just move on with your life. You don't feel the pain of that $500 leaving your account, but you benefit from it. The boredom secret: if you feel like your investing life is joyless, that is the single greatest sign you are winning. If you are constantly looking for the next piece of advice, you are losing. Stop searching. Start doing the dull thing. Point 4, the compound interest S-curve. This is the most critical part of the entire video. This is why people quit. Everyone knows about compound interest, but they don't understand the timeline. It doesn't look like a straight line up. It looks like an S-curve. Phase 1, the grind. In the first 10 years, your returns are so small, you might feel like you're wasting your time. You put in $1,000 and the market gives you $70 back. You think, I did all this work for $70? During this phase, the money you save is far greater than the money the market gives you. This is the willpower phase. This is where everyone quits because they feel like they are failing. Phase 2, the acceleration. But around the 12 to 15 year mark, depending on your contribution rate, something magical happens. This is the acceleration point. At this point, your portfolio is large enough that the money your investments are earning is now greater than the money you are contributing from your job. Your money has achieved escape velocity. Imagine you're saving $1,000 a month, but your portfolio is now so large it is earning $1,100 a month in returns. You are now making more money while you sleep than you are actively saving. This is the ultimate payoff for enduring the boring years. This is the moment where the game changes from active saving to automatic wealth generation. And this process is not luck, it is mathematical certainty. Point 5. Automate boredom. The most successful people in the world are not doing anything difficult. They are simply eliminating the opportunity to screw up. They automate the process of boredom. Here is the 3-step automation plan for the boring investor. Determine your percentage. Decide on a non-negotiable percentage of your gross income, say 15%. Set up direct deposit. Have your employer split your paycheck. Send that 15% directly to your brokerage account before it hits your checking account. You never see it. You never miss it. Automatic investment. Set the brokerage account to automatically purchase your chosen index fund, VOO, VT, etc., the second the money arrives. Zero manual decisions. The process is now running without your brain's interference. The boring schedule. You should be so uninterested in your portfolio that you only check it once a year, maybe on New Year's Day, just to rebalance. That's it. If you're checking it daily, you're looking for excitement and you are inviting risk. Point 6. The psychological wall of excitement. The reason we crave financial excitement is because we mistakenly believe that difficulty equals reward. We associate high effort with high return. But in investing, the opposite is true. The pursuit of exciting investments is what causes the 3 biggest mistakes. Number 1, panic selling. When the market drops 20%, the excited investor panics because they feel the pain of their individual stock holdings. The boring investor sees it as a discount on their index fund and continues their automatic monthly contribution. Number 2, FOMO trading. When they see a stock chart spiking, the excited investor chases it, buying at the peak. The boring investor ignores it. Number 3, high fees. Active funds and frequent trading generate huge fees that silently eat away at your returns. The boring index fund is low cost, sometimes near zero fees. Every percentage point saved on fees is a percentage point gained in returns. Your biggest enemy in wealth building is not the market, the economy, or inflation. It's the person you see in the mirror every morning. The boring investor has put their worst enemy, their emotional, impulse-driven self, on autopilot. Point 7. Case study: the dead spouse strategy. There is a famous and darkly humorous study often cited in financial circles. It looked at the performance of various investment strategies and found a consistent winner. It was the accounts of people who had passed away. Their investments were simply left to sit, untouched, due to legal or administrative delays. They were, by definition, the most boring investors imaginable. They didn't check the news. They didn't panic during market crashes. They didn't chase trends. They were forced to be perfectly consistent and perfectly patient, and they consistently outperformed the actively managed excited accounts. This study confirms the entire philosophy. Your ability to do nothing is your greatest financial superpower. You can be an average person with an average job and an average income and beat 90% of the market simply by setting up a boring system and leaving it completely alone for 30 years. That is a fact. We've talked about the boredom investor formula: automate, diversify, ignore. We've shown you the acceleration point on the S-curve where consistency finally pays off and your money starts making its own money. And we've seen why the financial news wants you to stay excited, because your excitement is their profit. So here is your final task. Stop looking for the next piece of advice. Stop searching for the secret hack. The hack is that there is no hack. Commit to the boredom. Your wealth journey should feel like watching paint dry. It should feel routine. It should feel dull. Because when you choose certainty over excitement, you choose the proven path over the lottery. Start now. Open a brokerage account today. It takes 10 minutes. Set up the automatic contribution. It takes 5 minutes. And then for the next 30 days, do absolutely nothing. That is the beginning of the journey that will make you wealthy. If this video helped you understand that the hard part is starting and the easy part is staying consistent, do me 2 things. 1, subscribe to the channel. I release videos every week dedicated to removing the complexity and the excitement from personal finance. 2, leave a comment below and tell me what is the most boring thing you do with your money. Like, I check my portfolio once a year. I use automatic savings only. Let's build a community committed to the power of the dull and the consistent. Thanks for watching. Now go do nothing.